o'clock. Looking at the clock on the computer, it's 4 o'clock. Why don't you record and we'll call the meeting to order.
Okay.
As is typical, gentlemen, and Ms. Diane, technical difficulties. Welcome to my life. Okay. Okay. Gentlemen, can I hear a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting, the September 17th meeting, please?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, beautiful. Now, Dr. Klein, clarification.
Si, senor.
Per the minutes,
Yeah.
you were concerned about political affiliation of the folks that we hired to assist the town clerk and the assistant town clerk in processing the absentee ballots.
Okay.
I consulted with the town council regarding that question. He felt that because of the nature of the work that they were providing, that there was no consequence of in regards to political party.
What these people are going to be doing is just aiding with the mailings and processing all this stuff. But as far as opening or counting votes or anything like that, they are not allowed to do it by law.
No, and that's that actually goes to the registrars, not the town clerk. The town clerk handles mailing out, receiving mail. Beyond that, it goes to registrars. So, are we all set on that?
Yeah, I was that's clear. I think that's clarified this question in my mind, because I was concerned. I didn't know if they were going to be opening ballots or not processing ballots.
Right. Okay, I thought I had said that, but it's okay. Let's move on. Okay, now, gentlemen, you have a letter in your packet, and this is a request, and I'll give you the background. It says consideration of a request for a subordination agreement by Project 2015-13 Woodstock Housing Rehab Program. What that is, and you have the letter in front of you, and if I can find glasses, I have glasses, we're in good shape. For those of you that are Diane and anybody else that may be on, we have a lady on Dug Hill Road who has written a letter to Jewett City Savings Bank, and she's applied for a home improvement loan for $50,000 to update bathroom, chimney, and other general updating of the property. So Jewett City Savings Bank is requesting the town of Woodstock subordinate our loans to this individual. And they cite, page, book 636, page 193, et cetera, et cetera. Please let us know if this is acceptable. I consulted with the loan officer today, and I've reviewed statement. Now, this gentleman you don't have, but what it is this was split. Now, the original loan was $28,000 and change. Half of this was deferred, and by half, it's $14,000, $61,000, $14,061.97. The homeowner is repaying a loan, and the loan originally came through the town June 6, 2018. The balance of the loan is $10,110. Now,
Say that again. How much?
$10,110.
Okay.
So they paid off, I don't know, $3,000 and change. Now, what this means is they have taken a loan through the town and there's a promissory note, and I'm looking at the paperwork from the town. Jewett City wants to have them be number one to be paid back from this homeowner. And they want our permission to do that. I propose I say no. And the reason for this is, personal opinion, pay off your loans before you take another one. The other part of this, from a business point of view, is you, as a homeowner, borrowed money from the town, which you are repaying, but until your debt is paid, I don't want you going elsewhere and trying to get a loan. Greg, go ahead.
Yeah, you kind of answered it. You kind of answered a question. Why would we do this? And then when you know, to clarify this, how does somebody borrow money from the town of Woodstock, first of all?
It's actually done through a grant program, Greg. It's the housing,
The rehab thing?
I forgot the name of
Yeah,
it.
yes.
But if you are,
Yes.
if you need a furnace or if you need a roof
Yeah.
or something like that,
Yeah.
you can apply for the money through the town. Now, the town was given that money as part of to start this system. But when a loan gets paid back, that frees up money for someone else to borrow. So this program never really cost the town anything, but we are the watchdogs of that original principle.
Listen, I think I understand this now, and I'm agreeing with Jay. So if you want me to second your motion, I will do that. So we say,
Chair,
well,
I agree.
Okay, fine. I had a nice conversation with the bank, the loan officer this afternoon. But the more I found out about this and the implications is basically what I presented to you gentlemen this afternoon. So I'm going to call the loan officer and say, we will not, we refuse to subordinate the loan to the town.
yeah, we're in first place and we're going to stay there.
Exactly. And, okay, and so can I make the motion? Is that okay as first selectman, or would one of you want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Chandler,
Second.
All right, Jan seconds, and I agree also, so it's unanimous. All right, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, we've got tax rebates. This month, we happen to have one. And it was for a vehicle. It was traded in April of 2019. It would be a tax rebate to JP Morgan Chase Bank in the amount of $142.33.
So moved.
second?
Second, okay, and I agree, so all in agreement. Okay, under correspondence. This started off with the state of Connecticut. It went through NECOG. Each town is to appoint a drought coordinator. I didn't respond immediately because I felt this was just a typical request from the state, et cetera. And I kept getting multiple requests saying that you hadn't responded. So I had called Josh Batone. Josh is with one of the fire departments. He's a deputy emergency management person for town. I explained the situation. I sent him the requirements. He agreed to do it. So he has taken on that role of drought coordinator.
Jay, you're breaking up. I'm having a hard time with your audio.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems to me when you turn your head to your right, it's good. But when you look straight ahead or sometimes you turn to the left, it goes out.
Oh, all right. So this is okay?
Right. That's good for me. Is that good for you, Chan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I just won't move because I've got things to read. So, okay, fine.
Straight jacket, baby.
Man, I love technology. Okay. Let's see. We just had it wasn't an invitation. It was an FYI. They had the fall biannual meeting proposed agenda for October 3rd. This is for the Bungay Lake Association. And it's basically review and approve proposed agenda, minutes of October 5th, 2019, various committee reports, et cetera, et cetera. There's really nothing that affects us as a town. I was copied on a letter. This is,
Jay, excuse me.
yes,
Interruption.
Yep.
Should that letter that you just referred to, should that be posted on the website, our website, just to say it was received? Even though it might be on their website, but we should put it on ours, shouldn't we?
I would say no, because it's a separate entity. Now,
Okay.
for instance, in the example I'll give is if for some reason, as an FYI, the American Legion sent me, a meeting agenda for one of their meetings. It's just FYI, so there'd be no need to put it on the town website.
Okay.
I got a letter from Palmer Arboretum, September 25th, and it's to the Woodstock Historical Society Board of Directors. It's from Jean Rocheleau, who's the treasurer, and she says, she speaks for every member of the Arboretum Committee. They're very appreciative for generous donation of $6,000 to go through for the refurbishment of the driveway that leads to their park. Your generosity will be a significant assist in rectifying the many drainage issues caused by the driveway's decay over the years. And then it was just, there was a personal note to me from Jean saying, thanks for your ongoing support and interest in the Arboretum. What it was is, if you notice driving by, the old driveway was ripped up, and they've had major issues with water damage to the Arboretum. So the Historical Society, which is in Palmer Auditorium, made a donation to the Arboretum to cover the cost. So that's being done now. I think they still have to finish it up, but it should be soon. I also have a letter from United Services. It's just, dear Jay, thanks so much for the town support of United Services. We fund $5,500 to them yearly. They provide services to families in town related to families, children, individuals in Northeast Connecticut in various areas of assistance, substance addiction, mental illness, and they're kind of quietly but dramatically, and I'm quoting from them, having a positive impact on the folks that live in the area. And they just want to thank us. It's from Diane Manning, who's the president and the CEO. And that is it for correspondence. Let me jump back. Okay, no current announcements. We just, I had mentioned our last meeting, we're moving forward with the polls are going to be over at the Woodstock Middle School. I've been in contact with Victor Toth. One thing that was just announced this week, and I don't have the date in front of me, my apologies, but the elementary and the middle school are going to what I characterize as business as usual. And this is going to be school five days a week. I believe it's in mid-October. And again, I don't have the dates in front of me. I want to say the 19th, sometime around there. I'm sure that's going to be on, Winnie News and Facebook, and that sort of thing.
Sure.
And that's about it. I don't, public comments. Diane, do you have anything for us? Questions, complaints, accolades? If there's anybody else that's joining us by phone, if you have anything to share with us, now's the time to do it. Okay, hearing nothing, I will go on. Other from committee. That's okay, I like it in the dark.
Looks good.
Okay.
There you are.
No, Christine's here taking minutes and she jumped up and I said, hey, I like it in the dark. Anyway, do you gentlemen have anything?
I have a couple things.
I would expect Mr. Klein, of course, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I attended the meeting in August of the Quasit School Committee,
Yes,
and we were able to approve and get funded and get the job done. The painting of the fence between that separates the Quasit School property from the elementary school, and clear across there, and also some work fixing up a couple of rough spots on the soffit and painting of the soffit of the whole building. So now they're looking into some issue with the front door might need to have some work done too. But we're getting things ready for winterize. And it was interesting. You might hear about this from Myra Pratt, the chair. There were numbers staked. We never would have known this. There were numbers on stakes at several locations on the lawn, and not attached to the fence or the building or anything like that. And we wondered, what's this? And somebody said, this is where the different classes meet for recess. And we didn't know that they were having recess on Quasit School property. Quasit School, according to the deed, is owned by the Historical Commission, and then turned over to the Quasit School Committee for operation. So anyway, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that, and the issue we talked about liability. Is there any additional liability? We don't know of damage that could happen because the windows are architectural quality, and they're using and balls do sail over, kickballs and soccer balls and stuff like that do sail over. So they're looking into making sure that they're it's a gem, and it's an expensive gem that needs to be protected. That's all. So we're looking into that. No earth-shattering things there, but just we're doing things. The other question I wanted to mention is not a question, but the other issue is that I just had an opportunity to interact with the Department of Motor Vehicles to get my driver license renewed and help my son get a title to a car that they had never had a title on it, apparently. So I had to deal with them. In my dealings, I came across the stuff about where they've opened up their several offices, the closest being Willimantic, and nothing on the mentioned on that about Putnam. And apparently later they did come out with something that said it's not likely that the Putnam office will reopen, simply because it never served the need, but they're looking to find alternatives for the area. And that got me thinking, and I just thought I'd throw this out there. I think they're looking for places that have shelter where people can stand, out of the rain or something like that. I was thinking that, what about Sherwood's restaurant site down South Woodstock? That is so close to Thompson, so close to Putnam, and in Woodstock, and it's big enough. It's bigger inside than the former site in the parking lot in Putnam was, and I think it could be accommodated. They could fix it so that there will be places for people to stay out of the rain. There'll be plenty of parking down there. And I think from an economic development perspective, while it's the state of Connecticut, but all the traffic that would generate to that location brings you past all kinds of businesses down there. The bakery, a pizza place, a real estate agency are located within that, and a CBD shop located within that shopping center. Go back a ways, you've got a package store, you've got a gas station, you've got whatever's going to happen with the facility that Woodstock Builders is doing. There's going to be a couple businesses there. Just people coming into the town of Woodstock and but they're in. I think that's worth consideration. And I thought that maybe we ought to talk to Dan Champagne and to Pat Boyd and put this idea in their head and see what they thought. Because, it's not a long.
The Sherwood restaurant is under new owners.
I can't hear you.
The Sherwood's restaurant has been sold.
Yeah,
There's new owners, and they started doing a whole bunch of renovations, but unfortunately the COVID situation hit, so that's all on hold, but it's still moving forward. So that space is not available as.
all right. Do you know anything about the Roots Down place?
No, I don't.
Okay, it's not, to me, not as attractive a location, but still.
I'm not, Greg, I'm not sure that that would be large enough,
Yeah.
either parking wise, because I don't know if either of you have ever been in there, but
Yeah.
it's kind of attractive, but it's very small inside. It's what they call intimate dining because it's small.
I agree. That I was in there years ago and thought, man, gosh, it's really small. And then when that was before they renovated, and then when they renovated, when the family that sold the Citizens Bank, that when they bought it and renovated it, it took forever and ever for them to reopen, but they did. And I said, I can't imagine it's going to be. And I never went there. Anyway, yeah. But I think we ought to think that maybe there's a spot that the state could get and make a new DMV office. But I don't know. Other than Sherwood's, I come up blank.
Well, I'm sure that there's people looking at it, probably Putnam, because it's in their parking lot. And I believe that the office that they have now is provided by the town of Putnam, the one that's there that has not reopened. But I've heard talk about the original DMV office in what used to be the, behind Dunkin' Donuts in the plaza where it was originally.
Yep.
That is open and available. And also there was talk about down in, there's some empty spaces down in Dayville in that shopping plaza in there. So I guess there's people looking at them, but Greg, I know what you mean. My daughter had to go renew her license. She went to Willie.
And when I went to Willimantic,
You were in line forever.
wrong. I was the only person in the building. Seriously.
How did you pull that off?
I scheduled it for 3:30 p.m. on a Friday. And my son scheduled his appointment for 3:45 so that I would be there, But they wouldn't let me stay in because they only wanted, yeah. And then while I was at the window, there were 3 or 4 other people that they let in to go to other windows, and all that, who had appointments. But yeah. But it's interesting. And they had a special day that day. Actually, I should be fair. That was a day set up on a Monday for seniors, veterans, and first responders.
Oh, okay.
So I qualified, through all 3 actually, because I'm, So anyway, that's that. And then I will tell you that it was great to see you guys at the tour we had of the firehouse and the new ambulance. Last week. And
that was impressive.
Yeah, and we did have a training session for the all 3 departments, Muddy Brook, Bungay Brigade, and Woodstock Volunteers, on the new Lucas CPR machines. And we had good attendance from everybody, and so they are now on board, the 2 ambulances in South Woodstock and the rescue vehicle at Muddy Brook and at Bungay. So
good.
But they're in use.
Okay. Anything else? I'm sorry.
That's it.
Oh, okay. Chan, anything else?
Just one quick thing.
Yes, sir.
People should be aware of the fact that when you go to vote at the school, the registrars by statute have to be in their offices at the town hall. So if you're going to go and try and do same-day registration, or if for some reason you ended up off of the active voter list, you're going to have to leave that school and go back to the town hall to get that taken care of, and then come back down to vote. And that's something that can't be avoided. It's a state statute.
Could we technically change their office for a 24-hour period to a space at the middle school?
I don't believe so, but
All right, now,
That
Jan,
might be worth looking into, but
we're gonna have to consult with the town attorney on this, because I expect both registrars are gonna be there from like, 5 AM until 10 PM the day
Yep.
that the polls are open.
Polls open at 6, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was told that by state statute, they have to be in their official office. And moving them, from what I was told, is not an option. So we're gonna have some people that are a bit cranky because they're gonna have to go back to the town hall and then go back to the school to vote.
How do they
Okay.
plan to communicate the information if somebody has to go back to the town hall to get re-registered and then go back to the school? How do they email the information back over to the people at the school to say, yes, this person can vote?
I don't know if it's gonna be done with a written
Yeah.
document that they can bring back personally, or if there's gonna be communication, but
are you getting all this?
A hall pass.
it just would be a situation where people get a little out.
Yeah.
No, I just asked Christine, are you getting all this? Because Shannon, I'm glad you brought this up. This is news to me. I, off the top of my head, I have no suggestion. In just what you mentioned, I'm thinking we're going to have poll workers over there and constables and everybody else, but our two registrars, instead of being there, are going to be downstairs in their office.
Correct.
Okay. Well, fortunately, I'm not a sarcastic person, because I'd say thanks for nothing. Before you have any other good news, does anybody, they want to move to adjourn?
I want more good news.
No, I can't think of anything. God, that's unbelievable.
Move to adjourn.
Chan, excuse me, gentlemen, before we jump off, Chan, can I ask, where did this just come up? Somebody just told you? Was it something that was advertised for places that were moving the polls because of COVID, or?
Heather went to moderator training,
Okay,
and that's talk that was something that she came home with. So I might have my story wrong, but this is my understanding. And
yeah, but you might have
people like, if you get off the active voter list, normally you just go into the office and get it straightened out. Well, now the office is going to be in the same area. It's going to be actually in a total separate building. So it's going to be difficult for a few people.
Did Heather say what the reaction was of folks at this training? Because I suspect, because of COVID, many towns and cities are changing their, like we did, are changing their polling site.
Well, because of the situation, we're allowed to move our polling site, but I don't believe we're allowed to move the registrar's voter offices.
All right. We're going to have to look into that with the town attorney and then possibly the Secretary of State's office.
You know, just before we close, throw this idea out there. They do have mobile registration capabilities. That, they go up to the academy and register voters and this and that. So why couldn't they have one at the polls and one at the town hall?
Because you've got a Republican and a Democrat. And when a Republican goes with a complaint or a problem, they've got to talk to the Republican registrar, and the same goes for the Democrats.
So they have to be together.
I'm sorry?
They have to be together. Two different registrars have to be together.
I think it would make sense that they are together.
All right.
We recently had the demonstration, if you will, up on the Common some weeks ago. Both registrars were there. I had set up a table and registered voters there. There were some individuals, and they were soliciting, if you're not registered and you'd like to, please come over here, for town residents, which they did. I'm wondering, Chan, you don't think that Heather thinks that could be done at the polls? It has to be based on
My
their,
understanding is no, it can't.
okay,
That they have to be in their office because that's where all their records are. That's where their computers are. That's where, any way for them to check or verify anything is going to be in their office.
Because that's election
They're not
day,
going to move that material down.
right? It's because that's election day. It's not, February 20th or whatever. It's
Right.
election day. Yeah.
okay, yeah, okay,
And there's a difference between getting registered to vote and now all of a sudden you're not on the registered list, or it's same day registration, same thing.
right,
That comes under a different heading.
okay. All right, well, thank you. Okay, we had a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, me too. Gentlemen, thank you. Diane, thank you. Crystal, Christine, thank you. Take care.
Good night.
Right.
Night.